I'm Jennifer with Community Nights, and we are here to serve the community. Today I have Heather Livingston with us from the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center, and we're going to talk to them about how the COVID-19 crisis has impacted their organization and the amazing children and families they serve. Hey, Heather.
Hey, how are you?
We're doing great. How are you doing today?
Good, and thank you so much for this chance to chat with you and your supporters. This is great.
We're so excited to have the opportunity. So first, we want to hear a little bit about the Downtown Hampton Child Development Center and all those amazing young people you serve.
Thank you. So a lot of people don't know that we've been around almost 50 years. Next year will be our 50th anniversary, which is kind of cool. We're in the old Mary Peak building. And so we really are a school. And our mission is to nurture young children by providing affordable quality childcare and developing the whole child and getting them ready for kindergarten. That's our big thing, is making sure that when they get onto real school, if you will, that they are prepared and are going to be successful. So normally we have about 140 children. We take children as young as 6 weeks, which is another big thing that many people don't realize. And then we go through 5 years. We have a baby room, a toddler room, 2 two-year-old rooms, and 3s and 4s in preschool. So each of those classrooms really are classrooms. There is a curriculum that is used in every single instance. We are not babysitting, if you will. So that's another thing that people are not used to. They think, well, daycare, childcare, but it is so important that children and their families are ready for kids to be successful by the time they get to kindergarten, that our job is very important. And it's exciting that these days people really do understand more and more about how important quality, affordable childcare is. And that's where we fit in. We are a nonprofit, private school. Anybody can go here, but most of the time, again, pre-pandemic, we had a very extensive waiting list. We can go up to about 90 children at any given time on our waiting list. It's extensive because our tuition is very low compared to other quality childcare centers. So,
well, and also the sliding scale that you all have to make sure that
right.
You're accessible, which is just amazing. But now that we're in this new COVID universe, how has that impacted the kids that you serve and also the families?
It's been very interesting. So like most people, schools in particular, we were taken by surprise when the governor shut down schools. So we totally understand the rationale, the philosophy. We appreciate that he's doing all he can to keep all of us safe, but it was a shock. And we were in conversations with Hampton City Schools, which is an amazing partner of ours, about what were they doing to prepare and how were they keeping their kids safe, and how could we do everything that they were doing. And then schools were closed right when folks were still being prepared. So it kind of is a double-edged sword, because some parents assumed that we were closed as well, and some parents did not feel comfortable, of course, sending their children. So we really were spending a lot of time, number one, sanitizing, trying to figure out exactly what we needed to be doing to align with CDC regulations, and talking with our Department of Health and making sure that we were following national and local guidelines about, again, keeping kids separate if you can with 3 and 4-year-olds, but what could our adults do too? What could the teachers do? And one of the first things we did was to make sure that parents were dropping children at the door, if you will, almost immediately. We did not let them come back to classrooms. And we got no pushback. We're always, getting ready to make sure that parents understand what we're doing and maybe aren't comfortable, but they were comfortable with sanitizing their hands as they check children in, not bringing in any extra stuff like blankets, because again, 2, 3, 4-year-olds like their blankies, but we are asking them to leave those things at home. It was a wild and crazy 3 to 4 weeks as we worked on making sure that people were safe. Right now, we're serving about 30 children every day. We really are down to the parents that need us most. So we've got a lot of people staying at home, families, but if they're still going to work, we've got our doors open. They know that they can come here and depend on that same stable environment where the teachers care about these children and they are doing everything to keep them safe. So it really has been a thorough partnership with parents doing all they can and we doing all we can as well.
So are most of these children, are their parents part of the essential workforce that's out there taking care of us, whether part of the healthcare workforce or you know, working in the grocery stores or other, you know,
Shipbuilders, exactly. You know, and some of them too are parents who are working from home, but it's very strident and they still need, you know, to have that child somewhere else for a little bit. We have been working on shortened hours. For the first several weeks, we were only open from 7 until 3. Now we're opening up from 7 to 4 and making arrangements to elongate those hours kind of back to normal as the state opens up as well. It literally every day we're still checking to see how are we doing, you know, how is the state doing, what are those numbers as far as people who are infected and hospitalized, and how does that affect us, because that's our paramount. We have to make sure that our instructional employees, you know, teachers, our admin staff, parents, children, that everybody is as safe as possible. We've had a volunteer who came, cleaned off all of our equipment in the playgrounds. We've also eliminated any volunteers, which is killing us, frankly, because we love our volunteers, but we've closed down the library. Our classroom volunteers are not coming. We've reassured them as soon as we can, we're going to have them back because the children love them. But we are also not having the kids eat in a communal style, which they were doing prior to the pandemic. So we've closed down those areas, eating and kind of keeping to themselves, if you will.
So that opens me up to the next question that I have, because so many people are sheltering in place to, you know, adhere to the stay-at-home orders to help flatten the curve, but they're desperate for positive ways that they can engage in the community and they can support organizations like yours that do such vital work. Is there anything they can do to volunteer from home, to support your organization from home? Obviously, we all, you know, need that donation support now more than ever, but other activities as well that they can do to support your organization?
Well, I can tell you, just like almost everybody else, we need hand sanitizer. As things rolled out, we have installed 5 additional hand sanitizing units throughout the foyer, if you will, and where staff check in. But I use up almost 1 regular container every single week as parents come in to log their children in. Again, because we're asking before they touch the computers and put in data that they are using that sanitizer. So if anybody has 1 or more of those they can share with us, that would be great. Again, anything that anybody else is having trouble getting a hold of, so are we. So Clorox wipes, those things that we use easily. We've got lots of spray and we are using that very generously, but any of those sorts of things. But our donors, we can't do our sliding scale tuition without our donors. And we have some very, very loyal, generous people who support us financially. And I would just like to say thank you, because we are counting on those folks continuing as we have our staff still here and keeping open. It's paramount, again, that they understand how we're using those donated dollars. But thank you. We appreciate our staff and everything that everybody's doing to keep safe.
So, well, if people are interested in helping out, how can they get in touch with you guys?
So our website is dhcdc.org. Or they can always email me, hlivingston@dhcdc.org. The office number, and we have one main office, is 757-825-6200. It is a Teacher Appreciation Week, so a shout out to First Presbyterian, who's bringing us lunch Friday, and to our board, who is bringing us a meal next week as well, or vice versa. I may have those dates, but people are so generous. They're so wonderful.
Well, I mean, we are one community working together to get through this. I know we're not always impacted evenly, but the way that we will get through this is by taking care of each other. I know you had hinted that we might have some visitors.
We have, I got to put my mask on to keep everybody safe, but we do have some visitors. Look, wait, come on in.
Tilt your screen down a little bit. Hey!
Can you squeeze in? They want to say hi. Can you wave?
Hi!
Down Hampton Child Development Center.
Thanks for coming and visiting with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we look forward to coming over and visiting when it's safe to come and do so.
Please do. Please do. We'll be here, safe and sound.